Hello there, and I hope everybody's having a good beginning of March. And that, as they say, March comes in like a lion and goes out like a lamb. So hopefully, you're not having too many lions or really bad weather around. Out here, it's a little gloomy, but it's not freezing, so I can go with that. Okay, I had a thought a couple of days ago that I wanted to discuss today to see if this could be helpful. Um, there's several places that have what they refer to as co-working hours, and some places, if you think in terms of school, you've got like study hall and things like that. I was wondering if I scheduled a specific hour or two, like half hour, 2 hours in increments, that is, during the course of a week, I would consider them quote study hall because I'm a teacher, so that's basically it. But you could look at it as co-working hours or office hours or whatever you wanted, with the idea of allowing you to come online, announce what you want to do, and then do it and then get it done and then go off and do your business. Not so much that you would be necessarily listening to me or anything else like that, as much as it would be a specific time that you got done whatever it is that you said you needed to get done. So if you keep having to say like, oh, in the morning you get up and say, today's the day I'm going to read my textbook or write my paper or prepare my presentation, or for all I care, it could even be crochet my baby shower gift, kind of thing. But if it's the kind of thing you put on your list, and at the end of the day, you still haven't done it, and it goes on your list tomorrow, and at the end of that day, it still hasn't done it, but you know you need to get it done. I was thinking that this might be somewhat of a structured way of getting your things accomplished. Um, the theory is good, and some of you might work around like that because you might like to go on with, in a sense, if you thought about it as accountability. Because part of the idea I have is you come in, log in, and say, "Hi, I'm here. I'm going to read the first chapter in War and Peace or something or whatever it is that you're going to do." And then at the end of that time, you would basically, when you left, you'd say how much you accomplished so that there would be some level of accountability to this. Um, the only problem I have, and this is the reason I'm asking you about it, is whether or not you would actually like use it and do it. Because the concern is if you put it on your list and you don't do it, and you know you've got to do it and you don't do it, would signing up for an hour with me be any different? Does that make sense? Because I could easily see, oh, well, I've got you saying something effective. Oh, well, something happened. I've got this to do. I've got this to do. I've got to do things in the dishwasher, blah, 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 blah. And you wouldn't do it anyway. Now, I did think in terms of possibly charging for this. The idea for this would be to make it not so much that it was going to break the bank, but enough that you would be more likely to show up for it because you didn't want to, in a sense, throw the money away. So I was thinking maybe perhaps $10, $20, whatever, depending on where you come from. So let's just say $10. So that if you charge, say, $10 for an hour, that you would pay for it, and then you'd say, oh, well, I paid for it, I'm going to go do it, which would more likely encourage you to come in and get done whatever it is that you needed to be doing. I'm not necessarily thrilled with the idea of charging, but you also know as well as I do that things happen. And if you don't, in a sense, have some money, in a sense, put your money where your mouth is, the phrase comes to mind, that you're not likely to get it done anyway. You're just going to blow it off and it's still not going to get done. So at least you see my thought here and my reasoning behind possibly charging for it. But I guess the first several questions I've got. A, would this be useful for you? Would anybody out there be interested in my setting something up like that? Now, we could conceivably have somewhat, I'd have to investigate this, but I guess I could say like go into and have a breakout room or something if you wanted specific time to come in and chat, just a couple of questions about writing a paper or some such thing like that. I could do that. That's not a problem. But the issue would be, would it be helpful? Would you use it? Would you make use of it? Some of you might. If you said you were going to commit, and if I could figure out how to do this publicly, maybe, open the list and you're going to say to everybody, okay, I'm going to show up at, let's just say 7 o'clock on Monday night, and I'm going to get this done. And then since you said it and you announced that, you're more likely to go through and follow through. So I'm looking for feedback and comments on this. Tell me what you think about it. A, first of all, do you like the idea, at least generically? And second of all, if you like the idea generically, what about the idea you would need attached to it to make you follow through and get it done? The goal here is to allow you or to encourage you or push you, however you want to look at it, to schedule time to get something done that you say you need to get done, that you know you need to get done. For those of you who are in school, depending on the way your school's set up, your term may be about half over. You're going to have to start thinking in terms of end of term activities before too long. And even if you say, oh, it's 2.5 months, it's like, trust me, think about, New Year's. Does it seem like two months since we've had New Year's? It's going to be really, really soon when you're going to have your end of term material done. Some of you may have, say, a presentation to create that you keep putting off. If this would give you somehow the time to sit down and get something done, even if you needed more time, let's say you needed 5 hours to do the activity, at least if you got an hour's worth of work done, that would be a step in the proper direction, and you're more likely to continue it once you got started. Maybe you could do it again. Maybe I would do this like 2 times a month or something like that, depending on what you thought about it. So something is better than nothing. Sit there and say, okay, I need to get this done and never do anything, or to somehow schedule time with me for the study hall or the office hours, or how, again, I'm going to call it study hall just because, again, as a teacher, that's what I would call it, and that you would do it. So I'm going to ask you to please make some comments. Does this interest you? If so, what would you like to see that would make you, I hesitate on that verb, but make you sit down and actually come here and do something so that you would get your work done? What do you need as a motivation to actually do it? Do you need to announce it in front of a bunch of other people that you're going to do it? Do you need to pay do you need to pay some money? What is it that you're going to need to commit yourself to do it for your sake? Okay? So I'm looking for ideas. Now, some of you are going to say, oh, gee, I like this idea, or I don't like this idea. And I'll make comments on it later. And then that's never going to happen. That's how you got nothing on the to-do list done anyway. How many things, it's depending on when you see this, if it's in the mid-afternoon or it's a late evening, how many things did you put on the to-do list this morning that aren't done because you just kept finding other things to do? If it's bright and early in the morning, how many things did you have on the to-do list yesterday that you didn't get done? So if you're thinking about making a comment, stop and do it now. Get it done, and then finish and go off and do whatever else you're going to do. Unless the house burning down, the kids screaming and dripping blood, do it now. Okay? Let me know what you think about the idea. If you do like the idea and you understand my reasoning for charging it, it's not to make a small fortune. It's just the idea because you're not going to do anything. Most people won't do anything unless they feel that they're putting money out, and then they will do it because they put the money out. Because they won't do it if there's no money there. They'll just say, oh, well, there's no money, so it's not important. I'm not going to do it. So if you put some money into it, it's more valuable to you and you're more likely to follow through. At least that's the line of thought behind it. If you're not like that, or if you've got some other ideas, I'm more willing to listen and consider some of these. So the question here is, what's going to help you get done what you need to get done, and how can I do that? Okay. So you got a chance to just give me lots of comments. Just don't blow it off and say, well, somebody else will do it, because they probably will be thinking the same thing you are, and nobody else will. Okay? So there we go with my thought and my suggestion. So please let me know what you think. And anybody comes back and tells me, I'll either get back with you personally, or I'll tell the group next time we chat. So again, let me know, and I hope you have a good rest of your day. Give some time to think about this, and let me know whatever. If you don't like this idea, what idea do you like that's going to help you get done what you need to get done? Okay? And if that means maybe there's the possibility of scheduling some time with me especially if you have paper to write, because I'm really good at helping students improve papers and correct APA and things like that. So even if I do say that about myself, so that of course I would charge for. I'm not going to give, unless it's really short, like a real quick question. But if you need some help, I'm here. Let me know what would be helpful. So with that in mind, I hope you have a good day, and we will chat with you later. Bye.